Hello and welcome to Tom Talk Shop. This is number 21. Today we're going to be making a shiplap with a bead, dressing it up. This is what it looks like when it's set in a panel, which is what we're making here in the shop. We're making several of these today for some heavy cabinetry we're building. It'll have several parts. It'll have the shiplap part here and then back here, and it'll have a decorative bead. It will have a round over, and then on the opposite side it'll have another round over to dress it out. And of course it gives you a much nicer look than the quarter-inch plywood you buy at big box for $40-50 a sheet, or whatever the current price in planetary beer credits is at the moment. So with that, let's get started. So if you like our content, please like and subscribe, and of course if you have any suggestions for video, please leave them in the comments. Thank you. Okay, for my project today, I'm making 4 pieces of this shiplap with bead. If you were making 20 pieces or 2 or 500, it's all the same. And the same with shorter, long pieces. The first thing I want to do is I want to establish what my face is going to be. This doesn't really work well as a two-sided project. If you have really good clear lumber, maybe, but it just doesn't really work well. So what I've done here is I've picked my top side for each of these, and you'll see I have a dollar sign. That's my symbol here in shop to show that this is my face side. And often in my case, it's the side that I flattened first when I was thicknessing this lumber. And you'll notice it's different species too here, because these are all scraps that we're using. This is going to get painted, so we don't care. And again, you can have them all the same width. These are slightly varying widths. It's not important for our project here. And then I have a much wider piece here that I'll be cutting this outer edge off because it's going to be disappearing anyway. So what I'll be doing is I'm going to cut a rabbet here, and on the side going underneath it, I'll be cutting a rabbet underside here. Now it's important, like I said, everything has the grain going the same way, so that when I cut the rabbet on the top, I'm going this way, and then when I flip the board, I'm cutting, the grain direction will be going that way also. So that will make your life generally a whole lot easier. But it's most important that you get the grain direction going with the one you're going to be applying the bead to, because what we'll be doing is we'll be cutting a rabbet. In this case, it's 3/8 by 3/8. This is all seasoned to taste. And then I'll be cutting a 1/2-inch bead, and I'll be doing a slight round over. And on the opposite side, after the bead's cut, I'll also be putting a slight round over to dress it in, which we'll show you later in the progression of all this. So with that, let's start cutting our rabbet. Okay, I've got my first piece ready to cut my rabbet into. And this is just a simple rabbet. And in the case of this, I'm just going to use a rabbet plane with a fence, because I've been cutting these for 2 days, making a lot of panels. Any rabbet plane will work, just as long as your final dimension is 3/8, or, well, again, seasoned to taste. But for this particular application, I'm making it 3/8 by 3/8. My stock is 7/8, so I'm just going halfway through, or a little bit less actually. And if it's an outdoor application or you want more relief, make it a little bit wider, but probably 3/8 width is about the minimum for this, so you have a little bit of room for summer to winter movement. And it's just a matter of cutting a simple rabbet. Okay, and there'll be a picture up there. I know we took a picture of it. I'm using 2 separate planes to cut my bead. I'm using a side bead plane and a matching 1/2-inch bead plane. Again, all of these trim parts are seasoned to taste. These are what I have, and so it works quite well. Now, I can't cut the entire bead on this with a side bead because it doesn't go deep enough, but it gives me my tracks, and then this one will track inside of it. If you only have one of these, regardless of what the size is, we recently made another video where I just used this one solo by itself, and we can put a card up there hopefully, and it kind of shows you how to get good use out of a center bead plane and get that to track really well. So with that, I'll just get started. I'm just going to make a couple of quick cuts, just enough so that it's tracking. right, and that's all that one's going to do. Now I'll just take this plane, which I've already set up because I've made a bunch of these, and you still have to be a little careful because it doesn't track perfectly. And then I just work my way down. Okay, now we've got our basic bead cut. Now I'm just going to quickly just dress this out with the number 2 plane. In this case, these are 2/16, or it's an 1/8 inch radius. And sometimes, we'll see if this one's going the right way. Yeah, sometimes the grain will change direction just slightly when you cut into the board like that. You might have to go the opposite direction with this guy, but this one's not going to make me do it this time, doesn't look like. Now, for our bead side of the board, it's all done. I just take a piece of folded, really coarse sandpaper just along the bottom after I'm done with all my cuts, so I'm not getting the silica in my, or the aluminum oxide in my blades, and it just cleans that up, and then you can scrub it. And now that side of the board is complete. Okay, now I've cut my undercut for this side. You'll see I'm going the backward direction of my grain here. So I'm going to put a slight round over. I'm using the exact round over I did on the other one. And let's see how this is going to work. Might have to do it backwards. Can't tell yet. I don't put a real severe round over, just a little bit. This is basically the last part of the cut, except in this case I'm doing it on the next piece. I'm gonna have to, there we go. And then that's pretty much it. That would finish up a single piece. In this case, we were kind of gone from one to the other, but it all ties in together. Okay, so we'll move back over to our other thing and take a shot of the finished product. Okay, I've got the joint here completed. You can see the first piece we cut. I'll pull it apart here. You can see the rabbit we cut, the bead, and then the round over here that we cleaned up. This is the second segment we cut. You would also make one of these, same thing on the opposite side of each piece, but this particular piece is not getting this cut. They fit together like this. Now, I leave a pretty good gap with these. This is green lumber. It's going to move a lot. It should be dry, but I'm allowing it to move a lot. And then after I've done my undercut to finish it out, I add the same number 2/16, or it's an 1/8 inch round over that I did here, and then basically you have your complete joint. And that is pretty much it right there.